Now here's some good news for a lot of buildings, parks, and schools who have been hoping to get some funding for important projects.
After a year of deliberations and many late nights, on March 4th, the Community Preservation Committee voted to recommend about $2 million worth of Community Preservation Act grants.
All in favor? Any opposed?
The cash comes from a 1.5% property tax surcharge and from matching funds from the city and the state. In 2012, Somerville became one of 158 cities and towns in Massachusetts to adopt the CPA.
We spent from 2012, when it was passed, through tonight, really creating the process by which the city as well as private organizations can seek money for affordable housing, for community preservation in historic resources, as well as the creation and preservation of recreation and open space.
This year, Somerville had over $4 million to give away because it has 2 years' worth of funds. The Community Preservation Committee, made up of representatives of City Hall, boards, and of regular citizens, considered 15 proposals.
What excites me about this legislation and the opportunity here in Somerville is that this is a way that all of us, through a very small contribution of our taxpayer funds, can really have incredible impact across the city in areas that are generally hard to fund and have sustainable impact.
Okay, Prospect Hill Tower renovation. We discussed funding it in full, $500,000.
Proposals came from private as well as city entities, like this one from planning.
Planning Division for the City of Somerville is proposing to hire a consultant to prepare a National Register nomination for the American Tube Works Company complex. For a small cost of bringing on a consultant to prepare the form and simply submit it to the state or to the National Park Service, that puts all of these, that gives eligibility for all of these buildings to utilize these tax credits. And just make the rehabilitations more feasible, and that's going to have a direct economic impact on this area, and especially along Somerville Avenue and directly within Union Square.
Another request came from the Historic Preservation Commission.
The proposal is to actually try and fix up and repair, rehabilitate the tombs that are still in pretty tough condition over here. What we're doing here is really trying to preserve some of Somerville's history, which I think benefits everybody in the city, knowing that in fact that we're taking care of our forefathers and that the cemetery as a whole is well maintained and is a quiet, relaxing place to be.
The commission only requested money to fix one tomb, but the committee decided to up the grant.
We got a request for $17,500, which I believe we'll only really do one tomb, is my understanding. Do, if we so choose, have the money to fund Milk Row, the $48,000 for the most pressing tombs, as well as the $92,000 needed to do all 6.
A general priority that said we use the funds strategically to leverage other funds or in-kind contributions.
Sure.
So, but I certainly don't do them one at a time.
Does anybody have a problem meeting in the middle at 48.3 to do the 3 most pressing?
Great.
I asked to serve on this committee as a member of the planning board because I think it's important that money that's raised by the community be given back to the community in ways that really benefits them in the maximum capacity that the money can authorize. All in favor? Any opposed?
I volunteer my time for this because I think that having committed members of the general public be part of the process, be a central part of the process of determining how this money that is our shared money is going to be spent is really, really important.
The committee also recommended $200,000 to help pay for some of the renovations that are really needed right here at City Hall. For Somerville Neighborhood News, I'm Jane Regan.
To find out which projects got funded and for how much, go to somervillema.gov/CPA.